the Egyptians even had a god for cats. Now, the family tree of the Egyptian gods can be confusing. The first generation ended up ruling the ancient skies, and the second one? Well, they married their siblings and tried to kill each other. To understand all the gods in Egypt, like Ra, Horus, Osiris, Isis, and Anubis, let's start from the beginning. In ancient times, in the middle of a huge, chaotic, primordial ocean, something amazing took place. A massive pyramid-like mount called Benben popped up out of nowhere, and there was a lotus flower next to it. When this flower bloomed, it brought the Egyptian god Ra into being, the king of the gods. Ra decided he needed more company, and then came the first generation of gods: Shu, the air god, and Tefnut, the rain goddess. Back then, the universe was just a lot of primordial water. Shu and Tefnut, feeling a bit adventurous, dived into these ancient waters to check out what was going on. Ra got a bit anxious when his divine kids didn't show up on time. Worried about never seeing them again, he sent his best messenger to bring them back. Lucky for us, Shu and Tefnut made it back safe and sound. Ra was so thrilled that his tears even gave birth to us humans. The Egyptian gods' family tree expanded a little. Geb, the earth god, and Nut, the sky goddess, joined the divine family tree, making the universe a bit more interesting. That's how the sky and earth came to be. Ra, ruler of the god world, secured the title of the first pharaoh. He went all out, gifting Egypt with cool animals like oxen and lions. But his best work? Creating the Nile River, kickstarting civilizations around its shores. But wait, Ra had some future worries. He sensed trouble from his grandkids, thinking they might overthrow him. So he laid down the law: no more kids for sky and earth. But you know how rebellious families roll. Nut and Geb defied the divine decree, bringing in a powerhouse crew: Isis, Nephthys, Seth, and Osiris. This rebel squad kicked Ra off his cosmic throne, with Osiris taking charge. But Seth, the power-hungry bro, eyed that throne for himself, and so began the epic saga of Egyptian gods. But wait, before we get into that, a lot more happened in between. So, after giving Ra the boot, Osiris stepped up as the new ruler of the Egyptian gods. He wasn't alone in the ruling. He ruled alongside Isis as his leading lady and kicked off a golden era of prosperity. Osiris didn't just chill on his godly throne. He was out there teaching the folks some serious life skills, like agriculture, weaving, and the art of bread making. Plus, he laid down the law with some rules to bring order to the chaos. Result? Boom! Egyptian civilization starts booming under Osiris's watch. Now remember, we mentioned that Osiris had a not-so-friendly bro named Seth. Yeah, Osiris's lush realm made Seth jealous. Osiris also had a fling with Seth's wife, Nephthys, and Anubis was born. Wait, weren't Seth and Nephthys siblings? Yeah, there was a lot of inbreeding in the Egyptian gods. Seth, upset, plotted revenge. At a feast, Seth gave a coffin, claiming it was the perfect fit. Osiris took the bait, got trapped, and Seth tossed him into the Nile. Osiris met a watery end. Isis wept. Her tears flooded the Nile, creating yearly floods. Desperate, Isis teamed up with Nephthys to find Osiris's scattered parts. Seth, the troublemaker, broke Osiris into 42 pieces, scattering them across Egypt. Osiris's wife sought the help of Anubis, the god of the dead, to collect and mummify Osiris's body. With divine magic, Isis brought Osiris back to life. But he became the ruler of the underworld after his resurrection. Now came Horus, Osiris and Isis' son. His mission? To oust Seth from the throne stolen from Osiris. The ancient gods served as judges in this divine family feud. Well, Seth proposed a challenge: a 3-month underwater transformation into hippos. Horus planned to use his mom's help to defeat Seth, but Isis couldn't follow through, feeling sorry for Seth. Horus felt betrayed. So he went all out and attacked his own mom, chopping off her head. Then came Thoth, the knowledge god, to the rescue. He swapped Isis's missing head with a cow's head, turning the whole clash into a divine drama extraordinaire. But the conflict between Seth and Horus went on for what felt like forever. Seth even plucked out Horus's eyes in their desert showdown, but Hathor, the goddess of love, restored his vision. Now, tired of their bickering, the gods demanded a peace treaty. Seth, playing nice, invited Horus for a feast. In a bid to undermine Horus, Seth's schemes failed as Horus defended himself. While seeking revenge, Horus teamed up with Isis and tricked Seth with a divine prank, causing his downfall. After 80 years, the court declared Horus the rightful heir. The saga ended with the gods' decision. Isis was proud as her son Horus smoothly took over Osiris's vacant throne. Meanwhile, Seth, not so thrilled, was sent to join Ra, the sun god, in the celestial sky. Then, Horus stepped up and ruled Egypt like a boss. Guess what? Those pharaohs from way back? Yeah, they're all part of the same family tree as Horus's descendants. Then Ra, the sun god, cruising the Egyptian skies, decided to retire, feeling a bit past his prime. He then dove into the sea at twilight and headed for the underworld. There, he sails through 12 gates, each representing a different underworld region. Ra makes hour-long pit stops at each of the 12 underworld gates, chatting with Osiris, the underworld boss. But hold on. Chaos struck before Ra left. Apophis, a monstrous snake crashing the party, tried to wreck Ra's ride, swallowing the sunboat and causing a morning blackout. Now, lucky for Ra, he was indigestible, and the serpent spat him out, saving the day. Now, Ra's boat might have faced some serious threats, but remember Seth, the god of destruction, who was sentenced to join Ra in the ancient skies? Well, he became Ra's sidekick, helping him fend off Apophis multiple times. With Seth in the mix, Ra's journey through the underworld becomes a bit safer. Ra was a highly worshipped god all across Egypt, with Heliopolis being a major center of devotion. His fame even extended to other ancient Egyptian religions, where they blended his image with their top gods like Amun-Ra and Atum-Ra. Pharaohs often incorporated Ra's name into their titles, like Ramses, signifying son of Ra or son of the sun. Now, let's dive into Anubis. He's a god with a jackal head. Anubis played a significant role in Egyptian mythology. In ancient times, he was associated with death and underworld duties. But as time passed, Osiris took over the underworld god role. Anubis then transitioned into the role of overseeing mummification. During funerals, priests paid homage to Anubis by wearing jackal masks. His responsibilities also extended to guarding tombs and cemeteries, ensuring a safe passage for souls to the underworld. Anubis, born to Nephthys and Seth, had a unique origin. Nephthys disguised herself as Isis, leading to Seth's revenge on Osiris, resulting in his dismemberment. As we mentioned before, Anubis, assisting Isis, then reconstructed Osiris into the first underworld mummy. Clearly, he didn't get the memo on who his parents had beef with. As for the Guide for Departed Souls, Anubis rules over the underworld court. Using a feather of truth and a scale, he judges hearts. A heavier heart leads to Ammit, the heart-devouring demon, with a lighter heart grants passage to Osiris for life after death. Anubis during Greek rule in Egypt teamed up with Hermes, the Greek soul guide, resulting in the birth of Hermanubis, a Greco-Egyptian god who gained popularity in the Roman era. Now, meet Bastet, the cat goddess. Egyptians loved and revered cats, considering them protectors against rodents and snakes. Bastet, associated with the sun, joined Ra during the day and transformed into a cat superhero at night, guarding against the serpent Apophis. Cats were highly valued in Egypt, mummified, and even had dedicated cemeteries. Even after the end of Egyptian god worship, cats are still regarded with reverence. Hope that one day people will worship them again.